November,
December.
Everybody has a
The ridiculousness continues. Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome back. Let's jump straight back into the madness, and it's going to be Pride Month, so it should be interesting. See? Do you see? It's the parents. That is crazy. Well, I say parent. That might not be the parent. That is crazy. Look, watch this in the center of the screen. They are using the baby. That is a baby, right? They may toddle. You may class them as a toddler. But to me, a baby is anything beneath like 4. That's a baby. It might walk about, it might wander about, but it's still a baby. You need to look after it very, very, very carefully. That thing in her hands must be less than 2. And it looks like a little girl, but you can't tell with these people. So that little human there is being used. Watch. They're teaching their children this behaviour. It was the person in the hat. The person in the hat was the one that's responsible there. That is a perfect example. That is a little snippet of the entire picture. We've got all these drag performers that want to perform in front of children, and the only way that these drag performers can get access to the children is if the parents take them. The parents are at fault here. It's just they've been brainwashed to think it's a good idea. What the hell's going on? Oh, they're on the conveyor belt. Going around with the luggage. What the hell is happening? Like, why is this? Big chunk of hair on the floor. Pulling wigs off. Jesus. Some context would be nice. To me, this is just a mindless brawl. Apparently, this is representative of Chicago.
Oh, with the goddamn chancla!
Hey,
bro!
That was a guy grounding and pounding a woman. Did you see that? That's awful. This woman here, watch this. There's a young lady here, and then a guy grabs her.
Oh, with the goddamn...
To be fair, she was swinging shoes about. I mean, she might have deserved that.
chancla!
Oof.
Hey,
Oof.
bro!
Oof. I mean, oof. It's a woman still. I mean, you can grab her, shake the shit out of her, but you can't start uppercutting. Take teeth out.
Hey y'all, it's Dr. Tiffany. Hope you're doing well. I need your help. With the recent laws taking effect in Alabama and the ongoing war against trans individuals in Texas, many places in Texas have stopped doing gender-affirming care, and Alabama has ceased entirely because they don't want to go to prison for 10 years. Anyone who can make it to Shreveport from those 2 areas is always going to find safe harbor here, 201 Market Street in the heart of downtown at Urgent EMS. I am Dr. Tiffany Nyberg. I'm a board-certified physician, been in practice for 18 years, and I will take care of you. I do gender-affirming care. Anyone who sees this, who knows people in Texas, please share this with them. If you know people in Alabama, please share this with them. Safe harbor is here. I've got your back. So, and I do pediatrics, okay? I love you. Stay safe.
There was so much to unpack from that. Right, whoa. Let's just start from the top. So that was a pediatric child doctor who thinks they're a woman, who wants to transition children, who's offering safe harbor to children and inviting them to his house or his practice online. He's inviting children and he's telling them that he loves them. That is incredibly just suspect behaviour, regardless of what else he said in there. But another thing, he was being disingenuous saying that it's trans individuals. It's not trans individuals. Once you get to 25, and your brain's pretty much there, you want to make stupid, irrational decisions, I have got no right to tell you to not do them. Unless we decide that it's a law, right? I've got no right to tell you what to do. If it's legal, you can do it. When you get to 25, you do it. But it should be illegal to do this to children. That is my belief. It should be illegal to do it, right? It should be. And eventually it will be. It's not trans individuals. It's 10-year-olds. It's 14-year-olds. We shouldn't be doing this to them. We should let them get to at least 20, 25, at least. But yeah, that was incredibly suspect, almost borderline predatory behavior. That was crazy. What have I just witnessed? Jesus Christ. One more look at the guy. Jesus Christ. Would you leave your children alone with this man? Whoa.
It's truly amazing to me how fast the narrative changes. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. White women are one of the most dangerous groups in the United States and abroad. At this point, we've pretty much all seen the video of the city bike incident between the black guy and the white woman. The black guy claimed that he bought the bike. The white woman claimed that she bought the bike. It was a tug-of-war match. But notice how white people were laying in wait for some little nugget of information that was going to absolve this white woman of taking accountability for the harm that she put these boys in. Whiteness is a cult, and they will always come to the defense of their cult members. This evidence that people are now getting on here to push to say that this white woman is innocent actually doesn't prove anything at all. But it does prove the lengths that some of y'all will go to protect white women. It's wild to me how people still see black people as one of the most violent groups, when actually the most violent among us has the inability to hold their community members accountable for the ways in which they harm other people. You know who you are.
Word salad. I genuinely pity people like her. I genuinely pity people like that, because to see everything through a racial lens, it's such an American thing to do, guys. It really is. If you come over the pond to Britain, it doesn't exist here. It doesn't exist here. Racism is such a big deal over there. You see it in everything where it's not. Do you know how, if you look at you can be walking down a really long street and there can be a row of fences beside you, and they can all have individual wooden boards that make up the fence. I challenge you to walk past one and not see a face or a snake or a rabbit or a bunny. We see patterns, right? And if you're trained to see a pattern that isn't there, you'll start inventing it. And you'll start seeing things where it doesn't exist, right? And when you're making statements like this, like white women are this and white women are that, that is a racist statement. So the thing that you are fighting against is your weapon. It's like, I don't understand the logic. I pity people that can be racist. I pity you, because in order to be racist requires a relatively low IQ or incredible amounts of trauma, right? And most of us haven't experienced incredible amounts of trauma, right? So the only other explanation for 90% of the racist population is the fact that they've got an incredibly low IQ. And I pity them. I really do. I can't imagine what it's like to have two brain cells that barely speak. I can't imagine it. Let's move on. I hate racists.
Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual, and today I'm here with the North Face.
Is that what gay people look like, is it? I thought gay people were people that were gay. I didn't think they were fucking pantomime dames. That's crazy that pure co-opted what homosexuality is. Tell me this isn't a real ad.
We are here to invite you to come out in nature with us! Wow, this is nice! We like to call this little tour the Summer of Pride. This tour has everything. Hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Last year, we gay saw shade across the nation and celebrated Pride across the nation with hundreds of you across the nation. This year, we're back again with 2 new stops. Atlanta, GA. Why? Because you're there. In Salt Lake City, we're coming for you.
Howdy, here we go.
Of course! This year, all these fabulous speakers will be coming from inside this TV to a nature near you. So come outside and celebrate the beautiful LGHGTV community.
That cannot be serious. That cannot be a serious advert. It's got Awaken with JP vibes all over it. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. That isn't real.
That's pretty gay.
That can't be real. Is that seriously a real ad? I thought Bud Light. So Bud Light did what they did with Dylan, and it wasn't even an advert. Like, Dylan just got some cans and posted it, right? It was bad enough that they did it, but it wasn't even like, Dylan wasn't like sashaying around in the advert. Do you know what I mean? North Face said, fucking hold my beer. What is that? That can't be a real advert. That has to be satire. Let me know in the comments if that's real. That can't be real. It can't be real. I refuse.
Right now, and there's a lot of controversy going on about all of the Pride stuff that's coming out with kids' clothes and things like that. So we're going to go to the kids section, and we're actually going to see if they're putting weird, creepy, uncomfy stuff on children's clothing. Okay, this is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have glad you came out, and I'm so happy that you're queer in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence. So I found an extra...
They do. They do. Pride should be nowhere fucking near toddlers. That's how they belong in the same sentence.
Extra small swimsuit in the child section. Says light binding effect on it. And then the bottoms in the kids section, keep in mind, say tuck friendly construction. They're giving it to your kids. If that doesn't give you a reason to boycott Target, I don't know what does. But this shit's getting out of hand. They're targeting children, whether you like it or not. And it's time that people actually do something about it. Because if they don't, then guess what? That shit won't just be in Target, it'll be in every store, ever.
You give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Julius Caesar once said, to condone an insult demands another. If you let them step on your toes once, they're going to come back and ruin your shoes.
That's problematic!
Indeed it is, Rob. But people are starting to fight back. We'll be right back with video number 2. Are you ready? Straight back into video 2. Let's go.
Lesbian and the founder of Gays Against Groomers, I'm done with Pride because it's become a degenerate kink fest. It doesn't represent me at all. It doesn't represent the gays and lesbians I know, and they're shoving it down everyone's throats, especially children's. It's disgusting, and we're gonna take it back whether they like it or not.
I'm done with Pride because it's become an embarrassment. As a gay man, I want nothing to do with it because all it is now is a celebration of debauchery, indulgence in narcissism, victimhood, and grooming of kids who shouldn't be there in the first place. That's why I'm done with it, man.
As a lesbian, I'm done with Pride because it's embarrassing. Have you been to one lately? That does not represent me, and I'm disgusted with it being pushed on children.
As a gay man, I'm done with Pride. We have all the rights we need. I really don't see the purpose for it anymore. And at these events, kids get exposed to a lot of inappropriate things. So let's just be done with it.
I'm done with Pride because once upon a time the argument was that gay rights wasn't about sex, and yet at every Pride it seems to be that's all it's about. In fact, it's like a contest to see who can be the most sexual and disgusting in public, and people are bringing their children to these events. It's not progressive for gay rights at all.
I don't know if you can tell through this tiny little camera, right? But my soul is warming up. This is warming my soul.
Pride? Why should we be proud? Mutilating kids? Making them into experiments? Nah, not me.
My name is Mickey Cutler, and I am done with Pride as a lesbian woman because I'm absolutely sick and tired of the LGBT community pushing their agenda onto children. Let kids be kids.
I'm done with Pride because it's become a public display of debauchery, and I don't know why anyone in the gay community would want to be associated with it anymore. It goes against everything we fought for.
Yeah. That was beautiful and succinct. It was. It goes against everything that homosexuals fought for because they just wanted to be accepted in society and just treat normally. And they didn't want to be arrested and chemically castrated and locked up in mental institutions because they were loving a certain kind of person. Do you know what I mean? And like all of that they fought for, all this trans stuff is damaging it because you're all in the same boat. The LGBTQ2+IA community with no leader, you're all in the same boat. So if they set that end of the boat on fire, you're still going to sink even if you don't get burnt. and people are starting to realise this. It's warming my soul. I'm glad to see this, because these are gay people. These are people that happen to be gay, right? That's what gay people are. All this crazy stuff with the drag queens and that is like an extreme end of the spectrum, and we shouldn't even be putting kids anywhere near any of this spectrum. Kids don't need to know about their sexuality until they discover it themselves, and then we can offer advice like, don't be having sex like until you're old enough, because you might get this, you might get that, you might get pregnant. But you don't need to tell a 4-year-old not to have sex because they don't know or care what sex is. It's just weird that we're doing this. We've been able to do this for thousands of years. How has humanity got this far? Hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, we got this far, and then now we forget how to fucking raise kids.
Hey woman, I'm done with Pride because nothing at Pride represents my values. Nothing at Pride represents who I am as a person. And I refuse to let other people sexualize my identity and turn me into a caricature of a gay person.
You want to come up too? Yeah.
That was absolutely quality. And now back to the fucking debauchery in which they were talking about.
You help him, Jeff?
He's in a thong! Grandpa Shark, Grandpa Shark.
Hey y'all, my kid finally made it to this stage.
Again.
So excited. We got the name change, legal, everything, all the documents are done. This is all that's left. Help this cute kid reach his goal. Thank you.
In Jan-
Oh my god. It just makes you realise, when you stop and think for a second, it just makes you realise how many kids around the world now, well I say around the world, in the Western world, this ain't happening in Russia, around the Western world are having this done to them. There'll be thousands of kids now. And it really genuinely does sadden me, because it's years down the road. They're probably going to hate their parents, the majority of them, because they'll realise that they were just young and naive and they were confused. It saddens me deeply, that.
January, February, March,
April,
May, June,
July, August,
September, October,
November,
December.
Everybody has a
The ridiculousness continues. I don't understand why they need to change them. Pardon me. I could sort of understand the argument for like, oh, well, I don't feel like I need these two, so I want to use these, but you've invented them. So like, I can understand that argument makes sense semantically, but it doesn't make sense like in the world. But then this one doesn't even make sense based on anything. Now it's you want to be called a different word every other day. Completely irrational.
different in spirits and they're entitled to that. But my issue is the trans activists that have hijacked the LGBT community and are causing real harm to the LGBT community by pushing gender ideology on children, by forcing women out of women's spaces. That is my issue. I don't have an issue with trans people. I have many trans friends. My issue is with the radical gender ideology.
There is no pride in indoctrinating children in schools.
Let's go back and read that. Taught my entire pre-K classroom at 4 years old that we're all the same. There's no age too young to learn about humanity. We are what we teach our children. Or all the parents loved it too. Sometimes parents don't know how to teach each other, teach it, but their child's LGBTQ plus teacher would. Like, it's four.
There is no pride in stripping parents of their right to protect their children.
There is no pride in sexualizing children at drag shows.
The majority of the clips used in this collage you will find on my channel. I've been talking about this for fucking months. I've only got 142 subscribers. YouTube doesn't like me. There, that's one with the fake boobs.
There is no pride in mutilating and sterilizing children in the name of gender-affirming care.
This June, what are you proud of? Because we have some issues that we need to talk about.
We're fighting back from inside the community. Join Gays Against Groomers in the battle against radical gender ideology that is destroying our youth.
Book here. It's called
I'm liking Gays Against Groomers the more I hear about them.
It's perfectly normal. I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's becomes moist and slippery.
Thank you for the censorship. I appreciate that. It helps block out some of the imagery I generate in my mind.
And the clitoris becomes hard.
Emphasis on syllables. Clitoris. Clitoris.
After a bit, a person's becomes erect, stiff, and larger. Sometimes a bit of clear fluid that may contain a few sperm comes out of the tip of the penis and makes it wet.
Can we, sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said?
You shouldn't laugh. I know you shouldn't laugh. I know you shouldn't laugh. Was it something I said?
Sir, I'm sorry.
That was beautiful.
Was it something I said?
That was beautiful, my friend. I
If
applaud
you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? We have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs, but you don't want me to read it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
That makes two of us.
It's almost. You can tell he's a pastor because that man's speaking with the passion of God, and he's giving it to him. He's giving it to him, and I agree with everything he said. Everything he said. Why should children be able to check it out in the library? It shouldn't be there. They should not have access to this stuff. This stuff is going way, way out of hand. I'm looking forward to the day that the tide turns. It appears to be turning, but it could just be a wave. Right? It appears to be turning, but the day when that actually happens and the tide fully turns and it starts to recede back, all of the people that have done all of this stuff need to be held accountable. All of these surgeons that have got hundreds of child mutilations under their belt, all of these people that have been prescribing puberty blockers and stuff based on a 30-minute session, all of these people need to be held to account because they did it for profit. They did it for profit. You're supposed to do no harm. That's your job as a doctor, do no harm. And everything they're doing is incredibly harmful. Nothing is even beneficial. There isn't even anything to back up that it's beneficial. There's nothing. There's no reason to do it. There's loads of reasons not to and no reason to. But yeah, I'm getting annoyed. Let's move on.
It's Pride Month. Unfortunately, our high school year ends just before June begins. What's a Gender and Sexuality Alliance sponsored to do? Our club members wanted a day to feel prideful near the end of the year. So we came up with the Day of Love. The focus of the Day of Love is simple: to broadcast a message of support and positivity about our school's LGBTQ population in a fun way. And maybe we can start a few productive conversations along the way. From year to year, depending on the size of our membership, we've done a variety of activities throughout the Day of Love. But at its most basic, we sell pride flags and crafts, have productive conversations, and celebrate. Today, let's talk about selling flags and crafts. Small pride flags are easy to order online, and you can sell them for like $1. But the profit isn't the point. The point is to give the people in your building an opportunity to display their support for the community in a highly visible way. Besides the progressive pride flag, I let our members decide what kind of pride flags that they wanted to order on our limited budget. So this year we have classic progressive pride, pan, trans, bi, and the updated lesbian flag. I like to send out a Google form for my colleagues who can't make it down to the cafeteria where the Day of Love is happening. That way our flags can make it all over the school. When possible, I also like to sell crafts that our members make. And this year, oh my God, we have little pride frogs that have, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm gonna buy them all. I'm not gonna be able to wait. And we have the flag sales in a central location in our cafeteria so that people come in, and then that's where part 2 can happen, the conversations.
Hey, Pumpkin is proud.
That's what it's all about. Propaganda is propagated, and you are propagating it. That's what you're doing. You're sowing seeds, hoping some of them sprout. That's what you're doing. You're selling these flags. You're getting all this pride stuff in the hopes that a child says, "Sir, what's all this stuff mean?" And then you can go, "Oh, well, this is what it's all about, Jimmy. You need to start sucking cock as soon as possible. Here's a book." I don't understand how you don't see that we can see you and we know you're crazy. Like, you must be so deluded to think that this is a good idea. You must be.
Pride Month. Let's talk about it. I'm not a big fan. I don't know what the fuck y'all are so oppressed about. I don't know what everybody's crying about. I don't know why everyone's so upset. I just don't feel oppressed. I don't remember the last time somebody had something bad to say about me because of my sexual preference, maybe because I don't talk about it. If you haven't noticed, I am a homosexual. I don't feel like I need any rainbow flags, signs, or signals to alert those around me that I am a homosexual. See, I don't make my sexuality part of my personality. As a matter of fact, I like to keep the two completely fucking separate. There's a difference. I depend on my personality to get me places in life, and I don't need anybody to feel bad for me because I eat pussy. I mean, for fuck's sake, we lit up the White House with rainbow colors back when Obama was in office. What more do we need? We can get married. I mean, I see more rainbow flags available for purchase than the red, white, and blue ones that represent our fucking country, but that's none of my business. I did sign up to die for this motherfucker, so it might be my business. See, I'm 40 years old, baby. I actually got discriminated
You're looking good for 40, girl.
against when I came out of the closet back in 1997.
Yeah.
Was that 98? I don't know. I'm old. I forget shit. Nobody baked me a cake. Nobody threw me a party, and nobody bought me anything with a rainbow on it when I came out of the closet. It was quite the opposite, actually. That shit built character and showed me who the real ones were, and it showed me who the fake ones were. Here's my opinion. You don't have to keep listening if you don't want to, but I think a lot of you guys are manifesting this shit. Wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my god, I'm so gay, and everyone around me is gonna hate my gayness, and somebody's gonna be mean to me, and then somebody's mean to you, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so fucking oppressed. See, I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, I'm just another regular fucking human, and I didn't go do regular human shit. None of it involves rainbow flags. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is my pride flag's still red, white, and blue. You can unfollow me if you want to. I don't fucking care. Mama didn't raise no bitch.
I love that woman. I fucking love that woman. Everything she said there was true. Everything she said there was true. Give that woman a fucking microphone and put her on a stage now. Oh, top quality shit, that. Top quality.
The hardest part was like being sold something that I believed was gonna help me and make me feel better, only to do all of it, and come out on the other side not feeling any better. I can't ever undo it. I could have always waited.
Chloe is a complicated human. Like, to me, she makes me feel two very strong ways. One is the fucking bravery to stand up against this at that age, because she's only young. I'm 31 and I've only just started getting the cojones to start talking about this, because opinions, you're not allowed to have opinions anymore. I couldn't give a fuck now. But for her to do it is incredibly brave. But then it also fills me with like overwhelming sadness. Like when she says, she said, I'll never be able to breastfeed, and it hit something deep down in me, and I was like, oh, do you know what I mean? It was like a proper body blow. But yeah, she's an amazing woman.
But I can't undo it now that I did it. I began transitioning at 12 years old. 12 years old when I started Lupron and testosterone, and it was only a month after my 13th birthday that I had a double mastectomy. I was in a place when I made those decisions where I did not have my comorbidities under control, and that just shouldn't be how it is when you make these types of decisions. There's just a lot that goes into making such life-changing choices that it's almost under duress when you have all these comorbidities stacked up in these issues. I came across Chloe Cole's case one night while trying to research and Google where my doctors are now and if they're still practicing. And I saw the active sue letter in her lawsuit. I am actively suing Kaiser Permanente, and I'm suing the doctors that gave me those treatments related to my transition. My name is Layla Jane. I'm 18 years old, and I am a woman who has detransitioned.
Layla Jane, there's another one to remember. Brave woman. 18.
So I had lower surgery back.
That's crazy. I've just said about the tide turning and these people facing retribution and stuff, and it started to happen. Like that's so nice to see. That actually is like a really positive thing to see, and I'm glad to see that Chloe putting herself out there like that has given all these other people the strength to do it themselves. That's powerful shit. That's powerful shit what we've just watched.
Back in January this year, I had some complications that led to this being a scary and painful situation.
This is a popular trans YouTuber, Jamie Dodger, who has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Jamie nearly passed away from complications related to bottom surgery, which is surgery to approximate the appearance of male genitalia.
Basically, I had an arterial bleed that required a second surgery to repair. I also had a refilling hematoma that got squeezed twice. Very, very painful thing to have done. And I've basically never been in so much pain in my life, despite having the maximum doses of painkillers that they could possibly give me. And I had to be rushed down for a second emergency exploratory surgery because I was spurting blood from my groin and they weren't sure why. And that's when they found out it was an arterial bleed. And that whole experience has made me terrified to have surgery again. I don't want to put anybody else off having lower surgery.
But you're a fool. You're a fool, and you're either ignorant or evil. Because if you go through that, and you go through all these traumatic experiences and problems with it, and you know that there's loads of risks and dangers for the sake of something that's not even real, right? If you're going to do all that and then still advertise it to people, I can't take you seriously. It's like me chopping my hand off, getting blood loss, and then getting an artificial hand, almost dying, and telling people, oh yeah, my fake hand's totally worth it.
Like I don't want to do it because I'm so scared of having a repeat, or I'm so scared of having a panic attack, because being in the same situation like brings back all the memories of it. I mean, even now, nearly a year after all of that happened, certain places and certain smells and certain foods, there's certain things that just give me flashbacks.
Despite describing PTSD flashbacks related to this surgery, Jamie still continues to seek more surgery and continues promoting these dangerous interventions to an impressionable audience on YouTube.
It was a scary experience. Like, I knew about hematomas, but I didn't quite know what would happen if you got one, and I had no idea about the whole spurty arterial blood thingies. I don't know how I'm gonna cope with having it again. I really don't.
So don't do it.
Plus, I need to have each of my implants done separately. That means I need to have at least 2 more, even though I really desperately just want to feel complete personally in terms of my physical transition.
You won't ever feel complete because the part of you that is missing is a part inside yourself. You can't add parts to yourself to feel complete. You can't make money to feel complete. You can't love someone to feel complete. You need to complete yourself.
I don't feel ready whatsoever to have surgery again.
Jamie also reports on not being informed of all the possible complications that could happen from the surgery, including the reality of hematomas and an arterial bleed. And this is something that we hear over and over again from these creators, that they weren't completely informed of the consequences. Because of the experimental nature of these procedures, true informed consent is impossible in this situation. If you or your child were harmed by gender-affirming procedures, but you feel like it was your fault because you gave informed consent, just know that you are not alone. Please reach out to Transition Justice to learn more about your legal options.
That's problematic!
Well, that was a roller coaster of up and downs, wasn't it? I can't believe it. The tide actually might be turning. It actually might be turning. We might actually be able to save children that are going to be born in 2 years. The children that are born, like the glint in father's eyes and the eggs in the women now, that are going to become humans in 2 years. We might be able to save them. The damage is already done to a lot of children, but they are now coming out and standing up against this. It's nice to see, but it's also horrific at the same time. It's almost oxymoronic, isn't it? But if you made it this far in the video, I really do appreciate that. See you next time, guys. Peace.